Okay, all right. So thanks for coming this Blazar update sessions. I'm Masahito. I'm running a PTL of Blazar project. So let's start the project update for Blazar project. So what is Blazar? Before I introduce the Blazar itself, do you know the Blazar project? If you know the project, please raise your hand. Okay, got it. Thanks. So Blazar is a reservation as a service in OpenStack project. Its mission is to provide resource reservation in OpenStack cloud for different resource types, both virtual and physical resources. Virtual means like Nova's instances, Cinder's volumes, and Neutron's network, subnet, floating IPs, blah, blah, blah. And the physical resources means the host, meaning hypervisors in Nova or storage in Cinder or etc. And the Blazar is became the OpenStack official project in Queen cycle. So this is the first official release in Blazar as an OpenStack project. The main function of Blazar is manage cloud resources, not only right now, but also in the future. Like if the user can ensure that you boot to virtual machine from this weekend to next weekend. And of course, the Blazar enable cloud user to provision dedicated resources for certain amount of time, as I said. And the main use case for the Blazar, well-known use case for the Blazar project is high-performance computing or telco NFV areas. And the mouse is a character of Blazar project. It's an official mascot. Of course, you know that. The reason is the house mouse has a respect for others' territories. So like making a reservation for each host or each resources place where it's scheduled or provisioned. So we choose this mascot for that project. So this is a project update session. So I want to introduce the main Queen's features of Blazar. So there are two key features in Queen cycle. First one is resource monitoring. This feature start to handle the failure which happen in the reservable resources managed by Blazar. Like so, for instance, the two hypervisor is managed by Blazar to schedule to make a reservations, but if one hypervisor goes down because of any errors, the Blazar needs to react the errors and reallocate its reservation for users. So from Queen's release, Blazar can start to handle the failure happen in the reservable resource side. And next key features is state machines for leads, reservations, and events. Actually, the Blazar only handles the status of reservation before Queen's release. So the cloud user only knows the reservation is not started or active or ended. It's in its reservations. But you need to calculate by your own to know that the status of the start event is successfully done or not or anything like that. But in the Queen's release, the Blazar correctly handles the each of status of these reservation events. So the crowd user don't need to check any status for, don't need to calculate for these resources. And other worthy development in the Queen cycle is I think there are two worthy developments. First one is support all operations in horizons. In the Pike release, we developed the horizon dashboard support, but the operation is only accepted for the user-side operation, like make a reservations or make a reservation, update reservations, delete reservations. But in the Queen release, we start the admin operations in Horizon as well, like adding the reservable host for the Blazar project, or remove that, or check the all reservation in that created by the users, and etc. And it's not a feature side, but it's a very important thing for the OpenStack project, is supporting Python 3 in itself. So Blazar now completely supports Python 3, so you don't need to be afraid that upgrading Python 2 to Python 3, then the Blazar don't be broken because of that update or upgrade. So this is the quick overview of Queen's features we developed. And for Rocky release or Rocky cycle, we mainly focus improve usability and support other resources as reservations. So where the place where the requests come from the user or operators needs and feedbacks for feedbacks. So first one is bare metal and network reservation support for by the Blazars, and the second needs and feedbacks is more detailed reservation requests. So based on these feedbacks, we plan to develop the following 4 key features, at least in a Rocky cycle. First one is, there's a typo. Ironic support first is the first one. The user can reserve ironic instances via Blazars. And the second one is AZ-aware reservations for the host and instance reservations. In the Queen release, the user only requests the number of virtual machines with some flavors. Like I want to create 2 vCPUs and 100 gigabyte memories and 2 gigabytes disk virtual instances with some, like that. But the user can't specify their request to reserve the AZ where they want to launch that instances. So Blazar takes any AZ for the reservation. But by this feature, the user can specify that information to create the reservations. And third one is a reservation candidate API we plan to develop. And this is it's like a request for whether I can create the reservation at this time. So let's say when you book a flight for somewhere, I guess you check the available seat before you book. This API, it looks like this. looks like this. You can check the availability of reservation at this time period. And if it's OK, you can request the API. And the fourth key features is resource usage API and dashboard and support dashboard. This is the features for operator's side. So now the operator needs to calculate all reservations that use a specific hypervisor by checking all reservations. But so it's very complex and hard works. But by this API, the user can check the usage of a specific hypervisor by one API call. Like I want to check the usage of this hypervisor from today to 1 year later. So this API returns the list of reservations that use that specific hypervisor. And not only for the Rocky cycle, we plan to some roadmap for beyond the Rocky cycle, meaning Stein and beyond. The first one is network resource reservations. The design or this activity has already started from Rocky cycle. First, we plan to support the floating IP reservation support, and later we plan to the bandwidth or any other network resources. And also we plan to, we've already started design for placement API support in Blazar inside. Currently, Blazar don't use placement API to manage the reservations, but as you know, Nova project has developed the great placement API, so we plan to use this API internally, and it makes more flexible reservation in Blazar side. And there are also the cross-project works in Blazar project. And the typical cross-project work are these three activities. First one is Blazar resource support in HEAT project. So HEAT will support the HEAT template will support creating the reservation for the users. So you don't need to, once these features will be implemented, you don't need to directly call Blazar API. You can just write the HEAT template to create Blazar's reservations. And second cross-project work is a reservation support in Tacker project. Tacker project is one of the NFV-related project, and there is some use cases for the reservation from the NFV areas. So this support will realize the NFV requirement from Tacker and Blazars. And last one is a preemptive instance with a scientific SIG. Yes. So I think that it's not in the implementation stage now, but we have lots of discussion with Nova team and the scientific SIG team to support these instances. So preemptive instance is like a kind of spot instance in Amazon EC2. It's like the operator could delete the preemptive instances, without notification to the user or something like that. So we are now defining the requirement and the specs for this type of instances, and we are discussing how we design and how we use these instances. And if you have any questions for or your feedbacks for Blazar project, there are lots of the way to send the URL request, but I think the three ways are good for as usual in OpenStack project. So first one is send a mail to OpenStack dev mailing list with Blazar prefix. I already have some filter in my mail soft, so I can react to your questions or anything as much as possible. No, as much as possible. As soon as possible. Sorry. And second one is join the IRC weekly meeting on OpenStack meeting alt channel at 9 a.m. UTC Tuesday. Currently, the main active developers are from Asian areas and the Euro areas, so it's not, I guess it's not good timing for the North Americas or other places, but if others come for that meeting, we can rearrange the time and yeah. And of course, we have OpenStack Blazar IRC channel, so I'm in there as much as possible. So if you have any questions for the Blazar project, please join that channel and ask me anything. And if you have any interest or if you want to contribute to the Blazar project, the first good first contact is pick the wish list tagged with low-hanging fruits bugs. So I created some tags and I added these tags and the prioritized for the easy bugs in the Blazar project. So please check if you want to contribute the project. Mainly the tagged bug are document-related bugs or insufficient tests. And if you contribute, and if you are not good at for this bug or anything, please join the weekly meeting and the check trend in these teams. Like ask which bug is easy to contribute to the active members or anything like that. Thank you for coming and QA. I think this session is 20 minutes. 20 minutes, right? So the less time is 1 minute. Do you have any questions? Okay.
So are there any limits on reservations in your side of the system? Or can my user come in and say, I want 100% of my quota for the next 100 years? Can I limit the length of reservation?
Okay, good. I think your questions means like, is there any interact with Nova quota with a reservation or something like that?
Any interaction with Nova quotas or your own quotas that are just like a maximum reservation?
Currently, no relationship with Nova's quota with Blazar project, because let's say the Nova allows 100 virtual machines. No. Nova allows users to launch 100 instances as a quotas, but the user can, of course, create the reservation which reserve 200 of virtual machines. Because the request for the reservation is about the future, but the quota of Nova is current status. So before starting that reservations, if the user asks the admin of that cloud, like I want to increase the number of quota to 100 before starting release, we can't handle this kind of activities. Now, of course, we are plan to support or we understand the need for interact with this. Yeah. Okay, so time is up. So if you we have onboarding session just after this room. Yeah, but anyway, after these sessions, we have onboarding sessions in other rooms. So please come the onboarding session if you want to know more details about the Blazar and how it works or anything. Thank you.